Hi, I'm Eliza, and today I want you to close your eyes and follow along with my instructions. Okay, we have a variety of different tests to get through. So for the first test, I'm going to make 2 sounds at the same time, one using my voice and one using a prop, and I just want you to identify or describe the 2 sounds that you can hear. Okay, so listen up for the first one. Toasted coconut, toasted coconut, toasted coconut, toasted coconut. Okay, so can you describe those 2 sounds that you heard? Good, I was saying toasted coconut, and the sound was a shaker. Is this shaker? Good. Listen up now for your next 2 sounds. Okay, what were those 2 sounds, please? Good, yep, and what other sound? Good, very well done. We had this clicker and me making a sound. Okay, listen for the next 2 sounds. Okay, what were those 2 sounds, please? Good, that was a tapping sound, and I was saying tico tico. And the final 2 sounds now. Okay, can you describe those 2 sounds, please? Good, I was saying swoop, and we had a crinkly kind of sound from this kitchen scourer. Good, okay. Okay, good. Next, we are going to do a few listening comprehension exercises. So I am going to read some very short stories, just a few sentences, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about it, okay? And I want to check how well you are focusing and remembering. So, this is story number 1. It says, "It was just after midnight when Nina heard the soft sound of paws against the glass. A small grey cat had climbed onto the windowsill, staring into her room with wide green eyes. She opened the window gently, and the cat stepped inside without a sound." Okay, what colour was the cat? What colour was the cat? 3, 2, 1. It was grey, a small grey cat. What time was it? What time was it? 3, 2, 1. It was just after midnight, or around midnight. What noise did the cat make when it came in? What noise did the cat make when it came in? 3, 2, 1. It didn't make a sound. It stepped inside without a sound, so it didn't make any noise. What did the cat do before Nina opened the window? What did the cat do before Nina opened the window? 3, 2, 1. It stared into her room. It was sitting on the windowsill, staring into her room. Good. This is story number 2. Alex sat on the old park bench with a coffee cup in his hands. Yellow and orange leaves fell all around him, landing in his lap and at his feet. He watched a squirrel run past, carrying a large acorn in its mouth. Okay. What was Alex holding? What was Alex holding? Good. It was a coffee cup. A coffee cup. What colours were the leaves? What colours were the leaves? Good. They were yellow and orange. Yellow and orange. What kind of animal did he see? What kind of animal did he see? Good. It was a squirrel. A squirrel. What was the animal carrying? What was the squirrel carrying? Good. It was an acorn, a large acorn, to be specific. Good. Okay. Next, we are going to play a game of odd one out. So I'm going to say 4 things, and I want you to tell me which one doesn't quite belong in the same group. Which one is the odd one out, okay? So here are your first 4 words. Your 4 words are horse, cow, pig, and penguin. Horse, cow, pig, and penguin. Which is the odd one out? Good. It is a penguin, because a penguin is a bird, and the other 3 are farm animals. Okay, farm mammals. Your next 4 words: plate, fork, spoon, and knife. Plate, fork, spoon, and knife. Which is the odd one out? Good. It is the plate, because it isn't a utensil like a knife and fork and spoon. Okay? Your next 4 words are tomato, potato, cucumber, and courgette, or zucchini for some of my international friends. Tomato, potato, cucumber, courgette / zucchini. Which is the odd one out? Which is the odd one out? And the odd one out isn't courgette or zucchini because it has 2 names. That isn't the answer. Okay. It is the potato, because potato is a root vegetable, and the other 3 are technically fruits. Did you know? Okay. The next 4 words are Germany, Paris, London, Rome. Germany, Paris, London, Rome. Which is the odd one out? Good. It is Germany. Germany is a country and the others are cities. And your final 4 words are dream, memory, cloud, idea. Dream, memory, cloud, idea. Which is the odd one out? Good. It is cloud, which is the only physical object. The others are concepts. Okay. Next, we are going to play a game, do a little test, where I am going to describe an object in very simple shapes, and I want to see if you think of what I'm thinking of. Okay, so let's do a practice run. I want you to picture a square. Picture a square. Good. And now picture a triangle on top of that square. A triangle on top. And let's make the square brown and the triangle a terracotta red colour. What do you think I'm trying to describe? Good. It is a house. A house. Okay? That is the idea of this test. So I want you to imagine a circle. Imagine a circle and imagine several small lines coming out of the circle, around the circle, coming out of it. And let's make the circle yellow. What do you think I'm trying to describe? Good. It is the sun. I'm trying to describe the sun. Okay. Now I want you to imagine an oval. Imagine an oval. Make it like horizontal. And imagine a triangle at the coming out of the end of the oval. So the point of the triangle is touching the end of the oval. And let's make the oval and the triangle silver. Let's make it silver. And the background of this is blue. What do you think I'm trying to describe? It is a fish. I'm trying to describe a fish. Good. Next, I want you to imagine a rectangle, like a tall rectangle, but the top of the rectangle is rounded. So it's not actually a rectangle. I don't know what this shape is called. And inside the rectangle is a circle quite near the top of the rectangle. And at the bottom of the rectangle there are some triangles, like right angle triangles, coming out of the bottom of the rectangle, the rounded rectangle shape. And the color of the rectangle is red, for example, and the triangles are also red, and the circle is blue. That's how I would draw it if I was drawing this, like a child drawing a picture. Okay, this might be a very difficult one. Do you have any idea what I'm trying to describe? Can you make any guesses? I am trying to describe a rocket. A rocket. Maybe I should have described having a triangle on top rather than a rounded top. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. Okay. The next thing I'd like you to imagine, I'd like you to imagine an oval. Imagine an oval with a wavy line coming out the bottom of the oval, a wavy line, and both the oval is, let's say, pink, and the wavy line, I don't know, is black. Okay, what do you think I'm trying to describe? Good, it is a balloon. I'm describing a balloon. Okay, very well done. Good. Now, what I would like you to do, I'm going to write some words, and I want to see if you can tell which word I'm writing. Okay, so I'm either going to write the word sleep or dream. What am I writing? Sleep or dream? Okay, do you think that was sleep or dream? That was dream. Do you think this is happy or sunny? Happy or sunny? What do you think that was? Happy or sunny? That was happy. Good. Do you think this is peach or plum? Peach or plum? Are you ready? What do you think that was? That was peach. That was peach. Do you think this is cloud or storm? Cloud or storm? What do you think that word was? Good, that was storm. Do you think this word is petal or leaf? Petal or leaf? Petal or leaf? Good, that word was leaf. Very well done. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some trivia, general knowledge kind of questions, okay? I just want you to answer them to the best of your ability. Great. So, which language has the most native speakers worldwide? Which language has the most native speakers worldwide? 3, 2, 1. It is Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin is the answer. What is the process by which plants make food using sunlight? What is the process by which plants make food using sunlight? 3, 2, 1. The answer is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Well done. Which country is home to the world's largest rainforest? Which country is home to the world's largest rainforest? 3, 2, 1. The answer is Brazil, and it is the Amazon rainforest. It's in Brazil. I know it's also in other countries, but I suppose it's predominantly in Brazil. What is the traditional Japanese art of paper folding called? The traditional Japanese art of paper folding, what's it called? 3, 2, 1. It is origami. Good. What colour do you get when you mix blue and purple? What colour do you get when you mix blue and purple? Good. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The question was meant to be, what colour do you get when you mix red and blue? What did I say? Blue and purple. I suppose if you mix blue and purple, then you get indigo, I would say. Or a bluey purple or a purpley blue. Maybe indigo. Okay, anyway, you can just ignore that question. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The Great Barrier Reef is located off the coast of which country? The Great Barrier Reef is located off the coast of which country? 3, 2, 1. It is Australia. Good. Australia. Which ancient writing system used pictorial symbols and was developed by the Egyptians? Which ancient writing system used pictorial symbols and was developed by the Egyptians? 3, 2, 1. Good. It is hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Well done. What is the name of the famous ancient city carved into red sandstone in Jordan? What is the name of the ancient city carved into red sandstone in Jordan? 3, 2, 1. It is Petra. Petra. Very well done if you got that. Which planet is closest to the sun? Which planet is closest to the sun? 3, 2, 1. Good. It is Mercury. Mercury. Which animal is famous for changing its colour to blend into its surroundings? Which animal is famous for changing its colour to blend into its surroundings? 3, 2, 1. Good. It is the chameleon. The chameleon. And this is the final question. What is the name of the Festival of Lights celebrated by many Hindu families? What is the name of the Festival of Lights celebrated by many Hindu families? 3, 2, 1. Good. It is Diwali. Diwali. Well done. Okay. Now I have some more listening comprehension tests for us to go through. So just like before, I'm going to read a story and then ask you some questions, okay? So here is the story. When the lights went out, Ava lit a single candle on the table. The flame flickered, casting shadows on the walls. She wrapped herself in a soft blanket and listened to the sound of rain tapping the windows. Okay. The question is, what did Ava use for light? What did Ava use for light? Good. It was a candle. A single candle. What sound did she hear? What sound did she hear? Good. It was the sound of rain tapping on the windows. The sound of rain. What was she wrapped in? What was she wrapped in? Good. She wrapped herself in a soft blanket. A soft blanket. Where did the shadows appear? Where did the shadows appear? Okay. They appeared on the walls. It says the flame flickered, casting shadows on the walls. Okay, well done. The next story. It says, Noah found an old teacup in the attic. It had tiny blue flowers painted along the rim and a small chip near the handle. He held it carefully and placed it beside a dusty photo album. Question 1. Where did Noah find the teacup? Where did Noah find the teacup? Good. It was in the attic. What color were the flowers on the cup? What color were the flowers on the cup? Good. They were blue. Tiny blue flowers. What was wrong with the teacup? What was wrong with the teacup? Good. It had a chip, a small chip, near the handle. What did he place the cup next to? What did he place the cup next to? Good. It was a dusty photo album. A dusty photo album. Very well done. Okay. Well, that is all of the tests that we have today. Thank you so much for your participation, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you soon, I'm sure. Okay, thank you very much.